I'm telling you, if that's what you've done, ask yourself what part of this you're not getting. What part aren't you getting, darling? That you went back to the old you, from the old self, with the old thinking of feeling like you would be abandoned, feeling like you'd done something wrong, feeling like you'd be rejected. What have you done? Ask yourself, and stop asking us, ask yourself. Because I know you're asking other people, you should know better. This is the Loz lesson suggestion for today, and it's a good one. How focusing on changing your identity can allow you to keep your manifestation for good. Focusing on your identity. Well, all I teach you is changing your identity, changing your concept of yourself. So, if you listen to people like Tony Robbins, he talks about your identity. I call it self-concept. If you listen to Maxwell Maltz, the guy who wrote this book, Psycho-Cybernetics, he calls it self-image. Either way, it's who you identify as, the stories you have about yourself, the concepts, the ideas you have about yourself that form the identity you are, the you are, your I amness. Now, each of these people teach it in different ways, but we're all talking about the same thing. And we all want you to be the ideal version of yourself. And that ideal version is the one who knows they're the all-powerful creator, knows they are creating the reality with their thinking, changes that thinking so they create a reality they want. The end. So in order to answer this question, you've got to understand that I'm trying to get you to change your identity and be consistent with it, okay? So changing your identity from an old self to an ideal self, from a not ideal, unfavorable thinking self to an ideal self that thinks the right way about what they want and decides they have it. So the way all manifestation works is, it is out here a reflection of in here. As within, so without. That's what it means. So what are you doing within that's causing the without? Well, what you're doing within is your identity of self, who you identify as. I am lost. I am broken. I am not enough. I am fat. I am poor. I am a loser. I am not good enough. I am a person who's never chosen. I am rich. I am successful. I am hot as fuck. I always get chosen. I'm always the chosen person. I am never rejected. I am always successful. I get everything I want. I am God of my reality. I am the best person in any room. I influence people. People want to be me. Bad I am, good I am. Bad identity, good identity. And the good thinking identity, the one that's got favorable thoughts about themselves, is the one I want you to be. Who are you being? That's what I am always teaching you. And right now in the Subconscious Law Squad, we are being our glowed up version. That's why we are focusing not only on the outer, the stuff we're going to do to make ourselves feel better, like pampering and eating healthy and sleep tapes and doing stuff for ourselves, so we focus on ourselves. But whilst we do it, we're creating a new identity that deserves this kind of treatment, deserves pampering, deserves being focused upon, because we're turning the focus from the outside and onto ourselves. So in order to feel like you deserve pampering, in order to feel like you deserve to be thinner if you're fat, in order to deserve healthiness if you feel unhealthy at the moment, in order to deserve being pampered when you never spoil yourself, you have to decide to be the new identity who, of course you pamper yourself, of course you're spoiled, of course you deserve this, of course you deserve being looked upon as hot, of course you deserve to buy yourself things and not just do things for others. We want to step into that new state of ourselves so we feel when we're glowing up that we deserve it and it sticks. If you don't internally while you're doing my glow up challenge, do the affirmations, start thinking differently about yourself and just do the outside stuff, by the end of the glow up it won't stick. And this person's saying, how do you make it stick around? How do you make your manifestation stay? To keep your manifestation. You won't keep the routine going after the glow up challenge if you don't step into the new identity of self. You won't keep the thinness or the healthiness or the health kick you were on if you don't see yourself as healthy. You won't keep pampering yourself or spending money on yourself or doing things for yourself if you straight away at the end of the glow up just start talking about your SP, thinking about your SP, focusing on your SP, and not turning inward and focusing on yourself and making it all about you and stepping up as the most special version of you who deserves good treatment, pampering, attention and love. If you just go back to the old self, this won't stick. You won't keep this glow up. Do you understand? That's why I'm doing a glow up that's not only talking about outer stuff like normal glow ups do, but inner work. And the work, when I say work, I don't mean working on yourself. I mean figuring out what you're currently thinking that's unfavorable, that's the old self, the old identity, that's no longer serving you, that's causing a reality you don't want, and changing that thinking that's permanent and stuck inside you to something different that's the opposite, that will create a new reality, because you are simply creating your reality from the inside out. Are you guys getting this? And if you don't do that, you won't keep your manifestation. So that's why some of you come into my squad, you listen to me, or you do back and begging, or Worthy as Fuck for Love, you do one of my love courses, you get your specific person, you get them, yay! Then you go back to the old thinking eventually when your triggers kick in, or something happens in the 3D with them, and your thoughts start to wane, your old insecurities kick in, you get triggered like a bitch, and you lose them again. And that's because you didn't stay the new identity that I caused you to be with my teachings. That's why some of you will even get engaged or married through my teachings and lose your husband or wife, because you didn't stick to the new identity you formed. You didn't keep your manifestation because you didn't stay the new you. You went back to the old you, and the old you was the one who lost them. So what do you think is going to happen now? You're going to lose them again, because you are creating from your identity. If you identify as a person who always gets unchosen, rejected, isn't loved, they'll eventually not love you and reject you and leave. Because you've gone back to the old identity you used to have before you learnt from me. So who are you going to be? And who are you being right now? Are you a triggered bitch who's starting to get triggered by their SP even though they got them back? Are you starting to look at what they're doing, questioning them, giving them the talk, asking, what are we? Where's this going? Why aren't we married yet? Doing all the old behaviours from the old self that you used to be that will cause you to lose them again and not keep your manifestation that you manifested? A lot of you do, and you don't realise you're doing it. A lot of you actually don't stay in my squad for maintenance, which is what it's meant to be, a support group. So whenever you're feeling triggered, you can go in the Q&A, ask the mentors, ask the squaddies, what the fuck do I do now? So many of you get so fucking arrogant when you get your SP back, or you get a specific person, a new one, you think, oh, I know everything now. You piss off out of the squad or out of my free group, you think you know it all, then you get triggered like a bitch and you lose them again. You come fucking running back crying to me, oh, I lost them. Yes, you dumb bitch. Did you stick to the new identity I taught you to be? No? Well, fuck, what do you reckon is going to happen? What do you reckon is going to happen? You've got to manifest from the old self. And what did the old self do? The old self lost them. The old self wasn't loved. The old self wasn't chosen. The old self was rejected. The old self had third parties. The old self was abused. The old you created the old reality. And if you want to go back to the old reality, go back to being the old you, even in little small increments. It'll start creeping in when your insecurities creep in, and then you'll fully go back to the old you. Even half-assed go back to the old you, and you'll create an old reality again, right now, from even a half-assed old you. Could be half the new you, half the old you. But either way, you're not fully transformed as the new identity. And then you lose them. I teach you to get your manifestation for good, not just for Christmas. Okay? Some of you are listening to dumb bitches who teach you 10,000 affirmations a day or robotic affirming, which will get you your manifestation for Christmas. You know when you get a puppy and they go, it's not just a puppy, it's not just for Christmas, it's for life. Some of you aren't going to get your manifestations for life because you're doing dumb shit that isn't sustainable long term. You can't say 10,000 affirmations a day for the rest of your life. You stop doing the dumb technique some bitch taught you that she charged you for with some course. You stop doing it because you felt like, oh, I got it now. And then you go back to the old self and then you wonder why you lose it. Then you have to do that dumb technique again that is unsustainable, and you probably won't do it for very long. And then what? I teach you to actually change yourself, guys, without doing dumb techniques. And if you guys are jumping on every bandwagon and every technique you see on TikTok and YouTube, I feel sorry for you. That's out of complete desperation. Oh, now I have to do robotic affirming. Now I have to do 10,000 things a day. Now I have to do emotional regulation. Now I've learned that I have to do you? Or do you just need to be the new identity? Oh, all these things that help you become the new identity. But if you can't sustain it, watch whatever you manifested go away. That's why you fuckers lose your SPs or lose the money or lose the job after you've listened to me. Because you don't stay the new you. You go back to the old you, even half-assed, even just a little bit. What do you want me to do? You didn't stay the same. You didn't sustain it. You didn't, as Neville would say to you, persist. What the fuck do you guys think he means by persist? He means persist, 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 even after you fucking got it. He doesn't mean get it and then forget about it. Are you staying the new you? Oh, no, I went back to the old me. And I was hoping to keep the thing I got from the new me. No, it doesn't work that way.
I can't handle combined requests. Try creating a scene or making separate requests.
I don't need you, Siri, thank you. That's my Siri answering me from all the way over in my kitchen. No, thank you. Guys. This was me, guys. Back to basics. Guys, look. I'm telling you, if that's what you've done, ask yourself what part of this you're not getting. What part aren't you getting, darling? That you went back to the old you, from the old self, with the old thinking of feeling like you would be abandoned, feeling like you'd done something wrong, feeling like you'd be rejected. What have you done? Ask yourself, and stop asking us, ask yourself. Because I know you're asking other people. You should know better. I'm yelling at you. What have you been thinking? You know what you've been thinking. It's been shit. If you've gone back to the old self and lost them again, guys, you've got to ask yourself, what thinking did you go back to? What did you not sustain? What new thinking did you not persist in that created the identity that got them back? Or got them in the first place? If you're the kind of person who feels like you're constantly going to be unchosen and constantly going to be rejected, and then a third party comes along, you've got to ask yourself, you got them, then you lost them to a third party. Why? What were you thinking that caused the third party to come along? I'm not good enough for you. You want other people. When I do X, Y, Z, you won't want me. That guy's better than me. Maybe you want him more than you want me. Maybe you want your ex. Maybe you want to go back to them. Maybe when we fight, you think about them. What the fuck do you think of yourself in those moments when you're triggered? That go back to the old thinking that you used to have. You've got to figure it out, guys. And I can't be there every moment of every fucking day to psychoanalyze the dumb shit you've gone back to. The identity you once reformed, you've now gone back to. You guys have got to understand you're like a temperature gauge in a room, okay? And you've got a set point that you think you are, that your subconscious mind wants you to be. And when you go off-piste and you go from the temperature of 22 degrees Celsius and you go to 26, and that's your ideal temperature, that's the new ideal self, that's the new identity, and you love it up there and it's warm and it's cozy and it's wonderful, and you start dropping back down to 22 because it was so easy for you, like all those people on the, like I said in my last video, in the Biggest Loser show, where they'll be on the Biggest Loser at 22 pounds or whatever, or say they're, I don't know, 100 pounds. Then they go down to 80 pounds. They've lost the weight, right? But then they magically always go back to the fat weight. I don't even know what 100 pounds is. I don't know if that's fat or thin. I have no idea. I don't talk in pounds. They go back to the set point they used to be, the identity they see themselves as, the fat identity. Because they didn't fully transform themselves internally, and they were just hoping that that coach would keep yelling at them. I can't keep fucking yelling at you. When the show's over, you've got to fucking yell at yourself. Otherwise, you'll be the biggest loser, and not in a good way. Are you guys getting this? You need to be your own champion. You need to be your own fucking coach. We can't all be there yelling at you all the time. We can't all be there answering your questions. And if you need that, come and join my Subconscious Laws Squad, because people are there to answer your fucking questions, to support you. Oh, I've fallen back down. I can't get up. Well, fucking help yourself. Stop being a victim of your own fucking thoughts. I used to be like that. I was fucking sick of myself in the end. I couldn't stand myself. Ask yourself if you've fallen back into the old self. Fallen back down into the hole you dug for yourself. Gone back to the set point of 22 degrees If you have, how did you do it? Unthink it. Why do you think I teach all that in all my courses? I teach you to persist in the new thinking. You can't just do the course and expect miracles. You've got to persist in the new thinking after you've done the fucking course. You can't just do Worthy as Fuck for Love and then forget about everything you learnt in the course afterwards. Remember somebody wrote to us once and was like, I did all the workbooks, now what? He's not back. And I'm like, bitch. She even handed me the workbooks and sent them via email as if like magically her SP was going to appear on the last page of workbook 4. Guys, I'm sorry. This isn't magic. It is persistent, new thinking until you fucking die. The end. That's the new identity. And if you go back to the set point of 22 degrees and go back to the set point of I'm a piece of shit and go back to the set point of I get rejected, guess what will fucking happen to you? Oh, but Loz, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You changed yourself. Go back to that thinking that you changed. Don't allow the old thoughts to sink in. Don't allow the old identity to come back. Loz, my whole life flipped. SP-wise, education-wise, honestly, you blessed my existence. Oh, thank you, darling. Guys, how bad do you fucking want this? Oh, I'm just a victim of my own thoughts. A boo-diddly-hoo, a boo. This is the symbolism in old medieval actor times for crying, by the way. We learned that at drama school. I'm not going to play a little violin for you guys and cry for you. Oh, what do you want me to do? Guys, there's so many of you who are playing victim and I don't feel sorry for you anymore. I gave you the tools. Use them. Keep using them. Don't be one of those people on The Biggest Loser who just go back to the set point of fat, please. Are you guys getting this or what? Oh, so I've gone back to the set point of fat. And now I'm a fat bitch. Yes, what do you think would happen? If you just kept stuffing your face full of chips and seeing yourself as the old identity again, what the fuck did you think was going to happen when the show ended? Oh, but I was just kind of hoping all those coaches would come back and give me rah-rah positivity and yell at me when I was on the bike and force me to do start-ups all day. We can't all be there all day, guys. I was angry, went back to old ways, deleted SP, now self-regulating again. Deleted SP? The fuck are you deleting them for? Delete yourself, darling. Delete the old self that caused you to delete them. What the fuck are you guys doing deleting them? Somebody wrote before, I went no contact with them to give him space. You need space from the old you that's fucking this up. What's this? I eat chips and say I can eat whatever I want and stay thin. I eat chips every fucking day. Doesn't affect me. I love chips. Guys, you've got to stick to the new thinking that you've created. You've got to stay the new identity. I'll give you a story. When I was at drama school, there was a very famous story about Hugh Jackman. And Hugh Jackman was at the other drama school that I wasn't at. There was like a drama school on one side of Australia, which is where I live now. And then I went to the one in Sydney. And he went to the one in Western Australia where I used to live. And there was a very famous story about him where there's 3 years of drama school. There was first year, second year, third year. And third year is when you're going to graduate and everyone, you're going to go out and be famous or not famous. And he never really got any main roles and he wasn't the hot guy and he was a bit overweight and no one really gave him the lead in years 1 and 2. He came back in year 3, after the summer holidays. A new man, hot, lost weight, muscly, new outfits, new hair. And everyone said, Jesus, Hugh, what's happened to you? And he said, I'm getting ready to be famous. They were all laughing at him. Oh, whatever, Hugh. Who's famous out of that year of drama school? Do you know of anybody else? I don't know anyone else's name who's famous. He stepped into the identity of, I'm going to be famous. I'm getting ready to be famous. I'm going to be famous. I'm this famous guy. When I get out, I am going to be famous. He is one of the most famous Australian actors. He just stepped into that identity. Cary Grant's another example. That's not his name. So if anyone knows who that is from old Hollywood, it's a made-up name. He had a made-up voice. He had a whole made-up persona of being this gentleman, even though he came from a very poor background in England. And he was that new identity, that fake identity, so much he literally started to become him. Are you becoming the new you every day, or are you going back to the old self? You've got to ask yourself that. Have you stepped into the new shoes and kept them on? Or have you gone back to your old outfits, your old shoes, your old thoughts, your old victim state, the old hole you dug yourself in? Or have you stayed the new you that you created? The non-victim, powerful God self you? Because you're all God, guys. And you're creating your reality, whether good or bad. And if you start going back to the bad thinking, guess what will happen to you? You'll create from the state of God, but God will be creating a nightmare. And out here, a 3D you don't want. And all you need to do is go back to the new self. Go back to the future. Oh, but this happened. I don't give a shit what happened. It's literally irrelevant. You could just go back to the new self all of a sudden and your reality will change. Oh, but there's all this stuff she left me and this and that. Okay, so that's all because of you. Now, if you change, she'll be back. Are you just going to whinge and moan and whine and ha, ha, ha? I don't fucking feel sorry for you. You know what to do. Stop feeling sorry for yourself, guys. I used to feel sorry for myself my whole life. And I remember one time I was going into an appointment that I needed to go to, that I really didn't want to go to. And ahead of me was a guy completely crippled trying to walk up a staircase. And he could barely get himself up the staircase and was holding on to the railing. And my mum looked at me and said, and you think, you know, you've got it badly off. Look at that guy. And she used to always point that out to me, like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Look what other people are going through. Some of you just sit around, you love feeling sorry for yourself. You're almost addicted to feeling fucking sorry for yourself. You've gone back to the set point of 22 degrees and you can't heat yourself up again. I'm sorry, not my problem. You know how to do it. Do it again. You did it before. Do it again. Stop being a lazy bitch. Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up. All right then, well, I'm just going to walk all over you until you fucking learn to get up again. I don't know, guys. Some of you, I think, are addicted to being victims. It's almost like you love the attention, the bad attention. You know how there's good attention, bad attention? I remember when I used to be a daycare teacher. And there was this kid who was constantly naughty. And he was older than all the other kids. And he used to come for after school care. And he used to bully the other kids and hit them and be mean. And he was huge, this kid, compared to all the other kids. And one day I took him over and I said, Aaron, have you ever considered getting good attention? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I think you do that to get attention. But I would give you a lot more attention if you were good and you did nice things and you were nice to people. And it's much nicer attention to get. I wouldn't be yelling at you. I'd be telling you how great you are. This kid walked off and within seconds he was like a transformed child. He was like, can I help you? And he was helping this little kid and he looked back at me and I was like, for the rest of the day, he was like that. He was wonderful. It gets to, I think, 4 o'clock. I hear this, Aaron, get your ass in the car. And this mum is screaming from the car park for that kid. And his little face just dropped and he went straight back to the old identity. The kid who gets yelled at, the kid who's not good enough, the kid whose mum doesn't care about him. And here I was caring about him and he became a whole new identity like overnight. And he went straight back. And I thought, oh, fuck. And I used to turn around kids like that all the time when I was a teacher. because I was the remedial teacher. And I used to say to them, what are you doing in here? I'd go and pick them up in like the PRU, the pupil referral unit, where you got in big trouble or you had detention. And I'd say, what the fuck are you doing in here? Come here. And they'd be like, oh, miss, I got in trouble. I'm like, well, stop acting like a little asshole. And then I'd take them upstairs. I'd say, one day I'm going to come searching for you and you won't be in here. You'll be in prison. They'd be like, miss, that's a bit harsh. I'd be like, well, it's true. Isn't your brother in prison? Wasn't he in a gang? And they'd be like, yes, miss. I'm like, well, do you want to end up in there? They'd be like, no. I'm like, well, stop doing stupid shit. And they would do stuff for me. And they would be the new kid for me. But as soon as someone treated them like they were a shitty kid again and saw them as the old identity, they'd go straight back to that shitty kid. And they'd walk out of my classroom where they'd be wonderful and kind and sweet. And they'd walk straight into the corridor and someone would be like, Alicia, da-da-da. And they'd be like, yeah, next minute. And I'd walk outside and be like, what just happened? They'd be like, miss, such and such told me off. And I'd be like, oh my God, here we go. Stop going back to the old you. These kids used to constantly go back to the old you because everyone saw them as the bad kid and they couldn't see them any differently. And these poor fucking kids had no hope in hell of ever being treated differently because everyone saw them the old way. And didn't matter what these kids did, the adults in their life saw them as bad kids. You've got to stop going back to the identity everyone saw you as. You've got to stop going back to the identity you see yourself as. And you've got to see yourself differently. Good morning. Esme just shouted down the stairs saying, Mum, Loz is on live. Hi, Esme. Hi, Sash. It's a constant renewal of self until the new self is the majority. I love that. That's great. Because I motherfucking said so. It's a constant renewal of self until the new self is the majority. It's a constant renewal, guys. Neville talks about that. Renew yourself. Be renewed. What do you think that means in the Bible? That's what it means. You guys have got to really want this bad enough. And not fall back into the trap of the old you. Fall back into victim state. I know how much easier it is to be a victim, guys. I was thinking about a friend of mine this morning who became really ill. And I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? She was constantly seeking bad attention. She would constantly want to regale you with the stories of her bad health or her childhood or bad things that happened to her. And I swear to God, she ended up just manifesting a really bad bodily function thing that happened to her because honestly she craved that bad attention so badly. Her body manifested it, so she was in a permanent state of everyone feeling sorry for her because she fucking craved that attention. She didn't understand good attention. Whenever you go out, she'd be the person to bring the vibe down. You'd be sitting in a club and talking to some boys and having fun. The next minute you look over and the guy you're talking to is going, what's wrong with your friend? And he'd look over and she'd have cornered some guy and having a D&M about her life and in tears. And he'd be like, and the poor guy's like, and I'd be like, oh, she loves to do that. That's her thing. It'd be my birthday and she'd sit there talking about her fucking life story and everyone would be like, oh, poor you. And I'm like, can we go out? Fucking hell. Whose day is this? And she manifested her ill health because that's the only attention she craved. And you know what she had? A mother who was from a concentration camp and just constantly spent the whole life feeling sorry for herself and made everything about her, and she used to complain that her mother made everything about her. So she made everything about her, but in a negative way. Oh, my mum got negative attention. The only way I'm going to get attention is have even more negative stuff to talk about. Let's come up with really tragic shit to talk about because then I'll get the same attention she got. Maybe then she'll pay me some attention, stop focusing on herself. Some of you love the negative attention. You love sitting around with your friends whinging about your SP. You love talking to your parents about how they wronged you. You love talking to your friends about what's going wrong in your life. You know that Gottman study talking about the good and bad experiences that couples have, and they have like 80% good experiences to 20% bad experiences or whatever it is? What's the percentage of you? How many thoughts do you have a day that are good versus bad? Feeling sorry for yourself versus not feeling sorry for yourself. Those of you who love being victims, ask yourself, how often in a day am I feeling sorry for myself? How often in a day am I in this hole I dug for myself? How often in a day am I having negative thinking from the old self? A lot of the time, the majority, as this person was saying. then the majority of your outcomes will be bad. I don't know, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. You're manifesting from that state, the state of I'm a victim, the state of I'm not enough, the state of I get left, the state of bad things happen to me. Well, guess what's going to keep happening to you? So don't come crying to me when it happens, especially if you know better, especially if you've gone to the new identity, created a new reality, and then fucked it by going back to the old you. I don't feel sorry for you. You know better. As Maya Angelou would say, when you know better, you do better. Are you doing better? Because you know better. Some of you know better and you're not doing better. True. No shit. Guys, if you're really lost about this, I highly suggest you come and join my squad, because some of you are in victim state and don't even understand what I'm talking about. And you need a fucking swift kick up the ass by my mentors and the squaddies in the squad. It's a support group, and we are there to help you when you spiral and to help you when you act like a victim. And after a while, if you keep asking the same question or talking about the same circumstances in the Q&A forum, you will be schooled in there. And eventually they'll say, refer back to last week's question that you asked where I gave you the answer. I'm not answering you again. It's the same answer as last week. Some of my mentors say it like that because they're sick and tired of answering your victim statement. I've got a victim statement, police officer. Can I tell you it again? I already wrote it down last week. I just want to tell you again what happened. Yeah, I read it last week. I don't need to hear it again, love. That's what some of you do in the Q&A forum. I just want to reiterate my bad story. Oh, my God. You really are a victim, aren't you? The squad is a blessing. Good. We love you, Liz. Oh, thank you. And if you don't want to join the paid group, guys, just go to the free group. But it's not as active in there, in the Q&A forum. It's very active in the squad, okay? And we have our mentors there as well. And right now, you'll be able to join the Glow Up Challenge. And then there's a really special thing coming next month. Love related. Who are you being? Are you being the old you? Stop that. All right, guys. I hope this helped. Make sure you can watch this back on my Subconscious Laws YouTube channel. There's over 4,000 videos over there. Go and watch them. You can start with my must-watch playlist. I'll put that here. And this video will go in that playlist. So make sure you watch any of those videos. And I have a new one coming out in, 8 minutes. I have a brand new video coming out called How I Change. And it's all about how I changed my self-concept and got rid of my body dysmorphia. It's got a brand new thumbnail type with just my face on it. It says How I Change. It'll be on my Subconscious Laws YouTube in 8 minutes time. Come and join me. I'll be in the chat box. And if you're watching this back on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. And if you're on TikTok, follow me. And I'll see you soon.